is fine. Riptide honestly scales terrible for the ability. It goes from like 120 damage to 220 with 4 skill points. Really, the only difference is you're getting extra minus armor every level, so it's kind of a really bad ability for that, at least. So I
great at level 1 though. 130 damage for level 1 spells.
Amazing level 1 skill, but level 4 you're like, this kind of sucks. But that's because it goes on all of his illusions, so it's very very multiplicative. So it's very abusable in some ways. So I don't know. It's looking like a pretty balanced game. I like the Empire draft a bit more here, but VP does do some really good Bloodseeker combos. Though that's probably going to be a Lina core. I'm going to assume they're going to Blood Rage him, and he's going to blow somebody up. I
was thinking the same, and it's feeling more like that off-lane Earthshaker, though. Tidehunter, the final ban from Virtus Pro. That is a hero that has been forgotten about by most accounts. He is...
Yeah, I think he got picked earlier, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Definitely did not see that game.
Might have even been VP, actually. You know how they like their team fight heroes?
That's true.
But Team Empire going for pretty similar stuff, honestly. Razor, Queen of Pain, Dazzle, Naga Siren. They'll grab something else.
10 seconds
like I said,
remaining.
these teams play semi-similar. They have some little differences, but they pick their team fight
5
heroes, and
seconds
Tide would have
remaining.
worked for that, because I think VP is lacking team fight compared to what Empire has right now by a slight
Reserve
amount.
time.
Before Earthshaker has Blink Dagger, they're definitely looking weaker, in my opinion. And they don't have a lot of sources to lower the enemy's
team
HP. They
pick.
could pick a Zeus, though. It would have to be a support Lina to do that. I'm surprised that Zeus is still in here with Bloodseeker in the game, but Zeus versus Razor also very poor, because every time you cast on him, he's going to unstable current you back. So probably not a good solution, but right now VP's really lacking a way to do damage and lower HP to allow Bloodseeker to actually get kills, and Storm is yet another good pick.
Yeah. Looking at lockdown from
10
VP, he's great against
seconds
Bloodseeker, of course. Rupture, kind of a non-factor there. They've got a fair bit of
5 seconds
control in
remaining.
terms of stuns, but no silences. Should be an okay game for the Storm.
Reserve
Yeah,
time.
it's very well. You know what they could do? I mean, obviously Bloodseeker has silence, but landing that against a Storm is very tough.
That's what I.
They could do Lina Yules into Lina stun into Tusk combo or an Earthshaker fissure, and then get her, or then silence the Storm, and at that point you could kill him. But then there's still Naga Siren who could sleep, and there's still Dazzle who could grave. So, like you said, it's a very good game for Storm Spirit, despite that silence being in there.
Yeah, even though it's a silence, it feels like anytime Storm gets hit by a Bloodrite, for the most part, he's pretty much dead anyway, because that usually means he's out of mana and can't zip out away, or he's completely stun locked already and can't get away.
Exactly.
It's usually just that final nail in the coffin, not like a waning rift, for example, to start off a fight and catch him off guard.
But if the initiation goes really well for Virtus Pro, I feel like they really can do some wrecking here. All right, it's going to be Illidan playing Lina, so that'll be their safe lane farmer. G's going to play Bloodseeker mid. It is an offlane Tusk and support Earthshaker and Crystal Maiden. So fast mana gain for them. Possibly some roaming coming from the Earthshaker CM. Pretty good dual roaming. Empire could aggressively tri-lane this, I guess, with Razor, Dazzle, Naga Siren. That's pretty darn strong. And then put him in 1v1 matchups. Resolution grabbing Storm, so I guess it'll be Storm mid, and then Razor versus Tusk. I'm sorry, they could be Quap versus Tusk. Kind of a...
I'm not sure.
It's a 50-50-ish matchup if it's a 1v1. If
seems like they're still deliberating as well.
Yeah, if Tusk goes really aggressive, he can actually outplay a Queen. But usually in the first couple of levels. So they may still swap. You never know, because Storm versus Bloodseeker is pretty good for Storm. I think
remaining.
Silent grabs the Razor, so I'm not sure if they're going to aggressive tri-lane or not. I think it's a little scary. They may just go standard lanes for both teams.
Yeah.
Well, let's see where they head.
Yeah, I was going to theory that was what that groan was. Well, why theory craft when we could just wait and see what happens?
Exactly.
So already though, Phobos, he TP's down. He's got a ward, and appears he just wants to block this pole camp nice and early. So VP will probably not be going for an aggro tri-lane. Good old-fashioned off-lane Tusk. They'll put G mid on the Bloodseeker, and then they'll do this safe lane try. FNG on his Crystal Maiden once more. Lil on his support Earthshaker, and that leaves Illidan, Storm Ra, the safe lane Lina.
And for the Radiant team, we've got Resolution playing Storm Spirit. Always want to fly on the Dazzle. Aloha Dance playing Naga Siren, Yoki on the Queen of Pain, and finally, Silent playing Razor. So the first ward block you talked about, it's maybe could be a bit more left. You could block more left and get it, but he does block the pull camp. But it looks like Empire is doing the aggro tri-lane silence in the safe lane. Him versus the Tusk 1v1 should be very easy for a Razor, because he can reduce the Tusk damage. And then their aggro tri-lane of a Quap, Naga Siren, with a Dazzle. Super aggressive tri-lane here.
A lot of chase potential.
Extreme chase potential, totally. And very survivable as well with the Dazzle and the Nago with Poor Man's Shield and a Quap that can always blink away.
Brought it up last game, but still nice synergy with that Riptide, especially with Dazzle. He does so much physical damage, just helps him do a little bit extra. Of course, on top of all those right clicks, we'll see a minor skirmish for this bounty rune up top, but it will be G that picks it up. VP securing both bounty runes for themselves.
The double bounty. How can you win now? It's impossible.
It's over. Just go next.
Razor as well taking a little bit of damage. I don't know if he got ice sharded or what. No, he actually didn't. He just hit him a couple times and Razor took it. So yeah, 1v1 down there.
Razor versus Tusk. I feel like that should be pretty decent for the Razor.
I think so too. It should be easy. He'll just sap his damage and then should be able to outlast hit him. It comes down to mind games basically. Does DK Phobos move away just as he does the Link, and he's going to sap enough damage.
Yep. So. Well, things get really easy for Silent now for this first wave at least, as he has all that extra damage.
And he also threw his nuke, so he pushed the wave.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And mid, so we've got Storm versus Bloodseeker. We talked about that a little bit, and we need to focus on this tri lane. The aggro tri from Empire, as it is. Off to an okay start. Yoku will be able to find some decent farm. Looks like Empire will just try to put their supports and intercept the jungle as much as possible and give as much XP to this Queen of Pain as they possibly can.
They block off the Naga.
Oh.
Should be fine, though. He could actually just hit the Earthshaker, I feel.
Yeah.
He can tank out if needed. Instead, he's just going to get all the last hits. This will hurt the Quap a little bit because she won't get as much levels or last hits, but the important thing is securing the experience and the gold.
Yeah, it's somewhat similar to the the aggro tri Storm Spirit we saw in Game 2 of that first series, where it's a little bit risky with the Quap. She needs that experience, needs that farm, and if this backfires, it can be scary, but so far so good. Storm having an okay time mid as well.
She's got a lot of last hits, yeah. The Bloodseeker basically has to be careful. Whenever he comes up for a last hit and he wants to heal from it, he has to cast Blood Rage on himself or the Creep, which means he takes more damage from Storm, and then Storm can reflect extra damage on top of him. So it's a bit of a Bloodseeker favored matchup in my opinion, but not always. FNG roaming actually.
Rotation, yeah.
Oh, and they get the silence off, and that is a dead hero. He pops the salve, but the heals won the TP from Always Wanna Fly. He's not going to die here, but big save there from the Dazzle.
FNG might need to be a little bit careful. He lost his clarity. He wants to go aggressive on the Always Wanna Fly, and he'll just back out. Wow. A little bit, little cocky there. They weren't expecting him to burn that healing salve. He still has to walk back to the well, so they still get something out of it, but not the first blood they were hoping for. FNG also smoked for that to happen, so that was a costly failed gank.
Well, it's a really good gank to do with CM against a hero that doesn't have the easy escape, you know? You just get a smoke, you get the fast level 2, and then you show up mid and gank. Now, one thing he maybe could have altered this with is by going for Nova as well as Frostbite rather than getting his aura at level 2, but to do that, it delays, it hurts him potentially if he doesn't get the kill, so...
Well, speaking of kills, Queen of Pain dies in the top lane. Looks like a fissure to set it up, and then Illidan just had the damage to bring her down. So first blood is drawn, and it does go to that safe lane farmer of Virtus Pro. And now things a little more rocky for Empire. And will they adjust? Nope. Queen of Pain just heads right back up to the off lane.
All right, so lots of stacking for FNG here. He's leaving all the little crappy creeps that nobody wants. But continues the farm. 2 levels in Arcane Aura, so he buys another smoke, so we will see another roam coming from him. He's probably going to wait till he hits level 4, though, and all he has to do is get there before Storm hits 6. If Storm 6, there's no way that CM is going to be able to disable him, but until then, he will be able to help out a lot, and G should be able to just right-click him down. And G has the boots advantage. I'm sorry, they both have boots.
Yep. So mid's still a pretty even farm fest here for the most part. Bloodseeker pulling ahead by just a couple CS. Down bottom, Silent actually not dominating as much as I thought he would. Phobos still finding quite a few last hits, 12-0 right now. And now he can just outrun that static link, so things getting a little bit easier for him.
Smoke ain't coming mid again. Crystal Maiden brought it to him immediately. He immediately used it after getting a Centaur kill. Puts the ward down, and I assume he'll use the smoke for the kill rather than rotate top. G is not 6 yet, they ping. They're gonna wait for a CS. All right, they're going in.
Here we go. G puts on the blood right. Can they get
too slow?
No. Okay. Another. Well, not wasted smoke. He got a ward down, but unsuccessful kill.
I mean, using one smoke and missing a kill, that happens sometimes, but a second one, that severely is going to impact their ability to gank in the mid game because all of a sudden they have so few less.
Down bottom, body blocks from Always Wanna Fly. He's got the invisibility rune. Huge damage being stolen by the Razor. And this Razor does so much damage. He still makes it out with the snowball.
That was a really good try from Always Wanna Fly there, but didn't quite get it. 3 Ironwood branches, haven't seen that in forever.
on the Dazzle.
Yeah, because it doesn't build into a wand anymore. I mean, if you make a mecha... Oh, Silence coming mid. Actually, FNG came back again. I can't believe it.
Yeah, he
still
wants
this guy so dead.
Putting a lot of pressure on this Storm. Resolution still farming so well. I can't believe how well he's farming. He's already had to walk back to the well once. They're constantly ganking his lane, and I mean, he's behind the Bloodseeker, but it could be a lot worse for him right now.
Yeah, that's Storm Spirit, though. Very good at farming and using Remnant, right clicks. Pretty good animation, pretty good damage. So, oh, he gets ruptured mid. Doesn't have 6 yet. Here comes the Silence. He's not going to get the Silence. Grave comes out as well from Always Wanna Fly. He was in position for that one.
Yep.
And he should be okay. I mean, G can maybe pressure. They're all getting really low. He puts on Always Wanna Fly. He's going to get the kill. No. That's a heal. Can he get the double? It's going to be so close. He gets him. G outplaying in the mid lane. That's what happens when Bloodseeker feels OP. He outplays your opponents.
Yep.
And he gets the double. They're both so low.
The problem with Bloodseeker. You get that first one, you get that little heal, the little reset you need, and all of a sudden this mid lane is broken wide open. And what was once very even is now Bloodseeker happily stationed atop the net worth chart. And Yoku still continuing to struggle with this offlane Queen of Pain, not really finding too much in the way of farm, and again relegated back to the well.
I mean, I like how G casts Blood Rage on his opponents. He does it a lot, actually, throughout the entire game. Very often, he'll cast on his opponents rather than themselves. And the only difference is that as soon as that person... It basically doesn't make you take more damage. If you cast it just on Dazzle, then as the Storm's hitting him, he doesn't take extra, including the towers. So it didn't allow him to heal from the Storm Spirit, but it was worth it there, because if he would have cast it on himself instead, the Storm probably would have killed him.
Oh, another Rupture. Blood Right. This time it won't connect, and Dazzle's still lingering nearby. Resolution will be just fine. So much pressure coming his way, though, as there's yet another rotation. Phobos with the double damage rune on. He is level 6, so Walrus Punch is ready.
Storm's only 5.5 as well. This is looking really dangerous. Here comes the Silence. Well, he doesn't have the Silence, but...
There is a Grave,
Walrus Punch!
They still managed to get the Grave off. Resolution will live. Now Yoku's the one that rotates in.
Good snowball.
Nice snowball from Phobos. Goes in on to Always Wanna Fly. G coming back in. Now he just wants to clean house. There's no shallow Grave. They lose their Tusk, but G diving the tower needs to be a little careful here not to overextend. He will put out a Blood Right for good measure, and he does make it out with about 90 hit points to spare. Or does he? Yoku, he misses the Scream of Pain, though it was only level 1. Can he find him? Nope, G finds that little cubby in the tree line there. Nicely played.
And 3 kills now on Bloodseeker. 41 CS at 7 minutes. It's like they're just feeding him kills, man. It's hard to tell, but this G guy, he is a player.
Now, the one saving grace for Empire is that they've rotated their Tusk around, and it's opened up a lot of space for Silent. He's now number 2 on net worth. Farming pretty well. Resolution.
Oh, they're gonna get him.
Oh, my. He just can't do anything. He still isn't level 6. He's 40 XP short. No way he survives there. Maybe they can get a counter kill onto Lil, but it's a huge rotation from Empire. 3 heroes now in the mid lane.
And VP is like, yo, we really don't want to have to deal with the Storm Spirit late game, so we're just going to gank him constantly, and it keeps working. Crystal Maiden focused a lot on that, but still getting levels for herself and guaranteeing mana. The Tusk rotates over with the punch, and it's all because this level 5 for Resolution must have been like 3 minutes. He's been level 5 forever, and maybe that's a problem with Dazzle being there as well, slightly lengthening the levels, but Dazzle also had to be there to guarantee him not dying a few times.
If Dazzle's not there, it's even worse, I think, for the most part. You would have been able to live through that last one. But, oof, this is a rocky start for the Storm all of a sudden. How the mighty have fallen. Phobos also doing quite well on this Tusk with that rotation towards mid. He's now 1-1-1, nearly 30 last hits. He's got power treads, and Tusk is one of those heroes that if he gets this kind of momentum early on, he can have a huge impact through the mid game, even without a lot of items in the inventory.
So almost all the Empire heroes still sitting around mid, but at this point G says, all right, I'm really farmed. I've almost got Midas, and now I'm going to spend some time jungling. He does this a lot, actually. Blood Raging the large creeps. They actually look really interesting. You almost never see them get Blood Rage. They just have blood all over them. Can golems bleed blood? That's the real question.
Apparently. I don't know. You'd think they bleed rocks, but who knows?
Ooh, that was so much damage.
Yeah, and G will continue on with his very predictable build. Gloves of Haste will be turned into a Midas and another 200 gold. No surprise there.
And Resolution with the tough game just says, screw it, I'm jungling. And they put the overly farmed Razor in the mid lane instead. He's much less likely to die to the Bloodseeker. But they back off, they pop the smoke, and it looks like they're rotating to jungle, maybe mid. Not quite sure, we'll see.
Let's see here, Razor, a lot of armor right now. He's reasonably tanky. But only level 5 on the Naga Siren, so they won't have that Song of the Siren to reset things, and they might get sandwiched here.
They got past just in time. They're going top. They'll have somebody TP in right now. And
Okay,
any moment.
got a glyph to reset as well. There's the TP. Lil tries to break things up with a fissure, but still Illidan in a lot of trouble. Drops the Laguna, but it won't be enough to yield a kill. FNG nearby as well, but now he gets netted. That'll interrupt the TP home. It's a 2 for nil, but G trying to clean house. Bloodright does not connect on any. Aloha dance low, but gets a shallow grave. And G forced to back out, but he could reset. Fissure gets him low, but G does not want to dive this tower into 5 heroes.
He wants to, but he doesn't want to dive. It's hard to hold back on that one. Really good rotation from Empire. I loved how they came from behind. What a sick fissure from DK Phobos, though. Or I'm sorry, it was Lil.
Lil, yeah.
That was great timing. He recognized right away that there were a bunch of heroes behind him, and that fissure bought him some time, but not quite enough.
Yeah, good rotations indeed. They also get the deny on that tier 1 tower, so another minor victory there. Silent appears to be going for the mech with that chainmail picked up already.
No surprise at all.
Yeah,
it's the typical Razor build.
There.
So,
and the Midas is also completed on G now. So
okay,
very standard timing.
He gets it very, very early, every single game consistently, and he's got 3 kills here. So, we'll see how much it accelerates him. Typical Qualian Blade to increase his farm, and there's ooh, they spotted this smoke. VP's smoking on 3. The lane ward spots him out. They put the sentry down. Now they see the ward, and they know, and they have to say, do we still do this?
Yeah. At least they know that they know.
I think what they do instead, well, they're smoking to take stacks, but I think what they could do is maybe go somewhere really unexpected. There's pings now, they're expecting the mid, and instead they just give up and take the stack, and I think this is the right solution. And they also put a sentry ward down to block on the magic bush, I'm sorry, not the magic bush, to block the pole camp, I guess.
Yeah, just a little shy of that bush there, but still, even just stealing, was that a triple stack? At least a 2 stack.
Yes.
Not too bad.
And also, the other reason they put the sentry down was to make sure that Empire didn't have an observer ward there, either from here or here. And because they didn't, that meant that Empire wasn't going to then adjust the fact that VP was farming those camps, and they were safe to do so. So while they did get spotted with the smoke at the same vein, Empire just sat around 5-man mid that whole time while VP was farming a stack. So it was kind of okay there for VP.
Yeah.
And they got a ward out of it. So
seems like rotating into the jungle for resolution was definitely the right play. At least he's recovering now, has power treads halfway through level 8. He's getting some farm. Obviously, he'd rather be in the lane getting all that solo XP, but yeah. I think this was definitely the right play.
Naga picks up level 6 though, so the Song of the Siren is going to be something they have to worry about. Smoke picked up by Naga now, so it looks like they're going to go for another fight. And this is a good time to do it. Treads on the Storm Spirit, he's got Soul Ring coming out soon, and Mech on Razor not quite finished, unless it's flying out. Yeah, they might want to... He's probably just holding this just in case, in anticipation for when those items come up. I would assume. I'd be a little surprised if they use it pre, but it kind of looks like they will.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well, but they see this as an opportunity. Where did they rotate? Not mid. Looks like they'll go into the jungle. I think they just want to pick on this Bloodseeker.
Support Earthshaker maybe as well. They see him. They have the ward up. They see where he's going. They may wrap on the right side, or they're going to approach from the front. The front is a little dangerous because they might not catch him. There's the nuke.
Got a fissure. Long ball in.
Oh, Resolution in trouble.
Oh, no. He gets turned around on the Echo Slam from Lil. Sets it up for Illidan. A disaster for Empire as they try to catch them off guard with a smoke. Goes completely the other way.
Yeah, really good attempt there. I thought it wasn't going to work, but the Storm just balled right in, was going to be able to catch the Earthshaker, but maybe they needed to lead with a different hero. I'm not quite sure.
Snowball onto Aloha dance up top, trying to cast that Song of the Siren. Will he get it off? Nope, the stun lock is there.
They almost left him. They're like, oh, you want to kill him? And they're like, okay, I guess we should kill him. And they got him.
All right. Well, that's one way to do it. Stun lock the Naga before she can Song. Always want to fly. Trying to get there for the grave, but couldn't quite do it. It's pretty incredible to see the shift in Dazzle builds, where Poison Touch used to be very strong. You'd see it sometimes, and now it's pretty much ignored, and it's all about that shallow grave.
The only time it's worth getting now is if you're an aggressive dual lane, usually, or an aggressive tri lane.
And even then, it's just a level 1 value point, so you get a slow initiation. I can't even remember the last time I saw it maxed out before, like level 15 or 16 or something.
The only time it does is if you're so rich that you're able to afford HP items and you don't feel like you need those value points, and that'd be better to get the slight disable, really, because it's a pretty poor ability until you hit level 3, level 4. So totally understand why they go that skill build.
Yeah, absolutely. So how are things looking overall? VP with a decent lead, about 3,500 net worth, 5,000 experience right now. Looks like G's Midas starting to have a little bit of an effect here. What does he have coming out on the courier? That'll be the Yasha. It's completed and on the way.
Yeah, their disables are really weak, so if you get a BKB, it almost hurts you because they could just Naga sleep you and wail on you with their whole team. Instead, going for the SNY, a little bit of movement speed advantage, some good right click, and farming as a whole will be increased too, because it'll run from camp to camp faster. So very normal build for Bloodseeker.
Although the mech is now completed on Empire, it's on the Courier. Will just about make it to the Razor. So if Empire do want to try another 5-man adventure, I should say if they want to try another aggressive adventure, they can certainly do so. And it will indeed be all 5 this time as they rendezvous at the rubble of their top tier 1 tower that has since been picked apart.
They're sitting behind each other. Aloha Dance is ready to counter-initiate. Resolution definitely looks like easy feeding. It's only got 834 HP right now. So it's possible. They do a side pull as well, so the creep wave will push a little bit up. There's the go in.
Ball forward onto FNG, but just testing the waters, does not overcommit for it.
2 TPs as well.
Doesn't want to get too far ahead of the team, but Blood Right.
They get Yogi.
Resolution. He finds a little spot, but Yoku, he's in big trouble. Laguna Blade, not enough to finish him off. Aloha Dance resets with the Song of the Siren. Now Yoku can regen up. They'll go into DK Phobos, it looks like here. Razor taking a very aggressive posture, takes Frostbite, and he could end up going down. He takes a shallow grave. Sonic Wave will finish off Phobos, but now it's all about the Razor. Yule's Scepter blocks him in place, but he is still alive. Blood Right will not connect
he's
on
going
any.
in. Will he be able to get a kill? It's looking kind of close. FNG almost dead. Hits a creep. G just trying to heal up. He's got really low minus armor now.
Yoku, he loses the man fight against Illidan, but the zip forward Resolution cleans it up. Now it's a 1 for 4. Can they get G? They've got the ensnare. It's a full 5-man wipe in favor of Empire. They were starting to fall behind, but now this game on even footing.
Playing Bloodseeker against this much minus armor is just so scary, because anytime he gets hit by Riptide or Weave, he just knows that every time he runs in, he's going to take a lot of focus fire without a BKB, because all those spells and things like that are going to hit him. And Resolution played that fight amazing. Great recovery from him and moving around like he needed to do.
Also silent. The way he positioned himself was interesting. Very aggressive. And he knew his limits so well, though. He moved so much further ahead of the team during the Song of the Siren and knew that he could keep part of Virtus Pro busy, absorb some spells himself, and still lived through the end.
The Rupture didn't really see much value either. It went on the Dazzle, and it took me a while to find who got Ruptured, and it was just Dazzle standing there. He already used his abilities, and that was it. Not a whole lot of usefulness out of that hero.
Yeah.
After he casts the spells, that is.
So Lil on his Earthshaker. Not too poor, given that he's supporting Tranquil Boots Soul Ring, but nowhere close to that Blink Dagger, sort of as you would expect when Earthshaker's in this position.
And Bloodseeker is still a little short of the Sanjin. Yasha doesn't have it yet. Illidan bringing a point booster to him. He's been getting some decent value out of his hero, landing some very critical stuns after Fissure on heroes like Storm Spirit, so that's been really well done by him.
Yep.
He's still a really big threat, honestly, because they have so many burstable heroes on Emperor. Man, think how different the fight would have been if they just did like 20 more damage to that Queen of Pain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wouldn't have been a Sonic Wave. It would have been very, very different.
And even just her ability to reinitiate the fight when the tower was still standing and kind of dive past it
with
to get those last few cleanup kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely different indeed. So Storm will be going for a Bloodstone build this game, and Tusk secures his Blink Dagger, I think. Yep, there it is.
And the Quap going for the Yules, actually.
Again, okay.
I guess it counters the Lina Yules, because you can Yules after she Yuleses. Also counters potential silence. If Tusk snowballs you, you can also Yules yourself. I guess that's a pretty good solution here.
A lot of utility out of it. Also an interrupt tool against like Freezing Field, for example.
Yeah, good point.
Some
they are weak on this. Oh, they're going to find Silent. They punch him in the air.
Always want to fly. Cancels his TP. He wants to get off the grave. Blood Right will connect on Silent, but not always want to fly. He's Ruptured, though, and now Silent in a lot of trouble. I think they're just both dead.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake there from Always Want to Fly. They will get FNG there, but I think it's better if he just doesn't die there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Versus the trade with your carry dying. That's a Midas pickup, by the way, for Razor. So maybe it was worth it. I don't know if he got that gold dominating streak. He got 343. He's got about 380 right now. I don't know.
So I guess he bought it before that.
Looks like it. So
what do you think about the Midas Razor this game?
I like it, honestly. It's pretty similar to how we've been looking at Vipers earlier today. A lot of Vipers would be going mech treads, and then they'll make a Midas afterwards because they have kind of poor farming abilities on their heroes. Like, Razor's better than Viper is because he has Plasma Field, but Razor is still a bit weak at getting last hits. So while it is a very, very late Midas, it takes about 10 minutes to pay off for the Midas itself. But that's okay because you're still getting attack speed from it, and you use Static Link, a way to really buff up your plus damage, so you just need attack speed to make that value. So while it may take the Midas a while to pay off, it's going to give him some overall better farm and better damage as the game goes late. And this game will go late because it's very even right now.
Absolutely. It seems these days the heroes that go for the Midas are the ones that get that added benefit from the attack speed. You know, your Spirit Breakers, your Blood Seekers, those kind of heroes. All right, we could see another fight break out down bottom. Yule's set up onto the Queen of Pain. Resolution goes jumping in, takes a Walrus punch to the face. Huge stuns, and he'll be locked down. Song of the Siren comes out just a little bit too late. It'll be a wasted Song as well as a dead Storm, but they use the weave aggressively. Big Sonic Wave onto 3. Virtus Pro now in a lot of trouble. DK Phobos will get picked off in the tree line in Illidan. It's dove under the tree, but Silent takes the Echo Slam to the face alongside a lot of creeps. Now the Fissure on 3. G's going to try to clean house here. He'll bring down the Dazzle. No more shallow graves. There's only one left. It's Aloha Dance. He'll try to TP home. Lil can't interrupt it in time, but now it's nearly a team wipe the other way. A 3 for 4. Virtus Pro getting a minor advantage with G being the big breadwinner.
Man, that fight could have been completely different if the first hero that died wasn't Razor, because he didn't get to use his mech there, as he did end up passing away. So that was, it ended up being a really big swing. VP was able to run through cleanup. Bloodseeker had a really good rupture. They put it on the Quap, not the hero he's focusing on. That way, as he got the first kill, he can continue chasing. So G is 8-1-0, by the way. This looks like a pub to me.
Yeah. This is classic G Bloodseeker. I think every time I've seen him play it, it's gone similarly to this. He has a good time in the lane, he gets the early Midas, and then just transitions to farm and gank around the map. They tend to pick him the Bloodseeker when they have other heroes that can initiate, so he never has to be going in first unless it's, you know, a numbers advantage for the team. Yeah. Just like that fight, it was already broken out, so he can just come in and have all that movement speed advantage and pick off the weak ones in the back line. As now Virtus Pro move into a Roche.
And it's going to go pretty fast due to the old double damage on G and the amplified damage from the Blood Rage, so
that helps.
It's really nice to have DK Phobos for this game, though, on the Tusk, though. Like you said, that somebody else initiating is so useful, and he's able to get away with it. Just a blink punch into a snowball is usually, you know, it's about 2 seconds of stun, and it allows Alina to follow up. And all of these heroes are so vulnerable. Storm Spirit and Quap, both so at danger. And unfortunately, they keep being just slightly late on their Naga Siren. It worked earlier, but that last one was way too late.
Yeah, you know, I coined G as the big breadwinner from that last fight, but maybe it was really Lil. He now has a Blink Dagger on this support Earthshaker. So, and again, to piggyback off that, given that the Tusk can initiate, it takes a little pressure off of Lil so that he can use his fissures for those cleanups, those blocks, and not have to start off the fight with his fissure already on cooldown.
Yeah, so the VP style here is kind of reminding me a bit of EG's in a way. Obviously, EG hasn't been playing Bloodseeker on Sumail, but might get it. Hero caught. Always on a fly, getting fissured. Silent as well, going to get caught with the snowball. Let's see a punch, perhaps. First stun, Grave goes down. He's about half HP. He gets punched, but he's still alive for a bit. There's the ultimate as well. G's going to be able to clean him up, though. So, Storm Spirit goes in on top of Lil. Lil's at about half HP, throws the fissure down, and they clean up on the Naga Siren as well. So double kill there for VP in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, very nice. The rupture on Dazzle there. Didn't secure a kill, but kept the Dazzle kind of out of the fight after he used that first Shallow Grave and got his weave off. It's the second rupture we've seen on Dazzle this game. I guess it seemed like it would just be a quick pick on 2 and not a full team fight. So
I mean, it limits his movement a lot. As a hero that only has boots and a wand, your positioning is extremely important. So if he does rupture that hero, it may mean that him graving might cause problems. And not to mention the... This is actually an interesting thing I've never thought about. Because his HP is so low and Rupture does a static amount of damage, if you lower the percentage of his HP fast, it gives Bloodseeker a lot of damage. That could be another thing that G's thinking about.
Oh, as he is, just the lowest HP hero on the team by a pretty big margin, actually.
So you limit his mobility, you maybe hurt his ability to grave, and if he does grave, he's going to lower his HP to half, and all of a sudden Bloodseeker gets like 50 movement speed and 50 damage.
That's a really good point, actually. I think that's definitely part of it. It's probably the whole package. That's a factor at the very least. So, all right, now it's VP. They want to get aggressive. They took the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane off the success of that last skirmish, and now they'll head mid for yet another. Glyph comes out, but Empire will not mount much of a defense. Back-to-back towers for Virtus Pro. G actually getting both of them, so his income is pretty substantial. 13K on net worth, now a full BKB to go with his Aegis, Midas, and SNY.
He's got level 16, so now he's got the level 3 Rupture as well. 60% move damage is so much, so that's pretty dangerous to go up against. Good night, Dazzle. Yeah, that's,
G's level 16, Dazzle's level 8. That's just one of those little metrics that's like, yep.
That's a 3-shot without Grave. And he's gone for the full sacrifice build with 4 levels in Grave. They find G actually going to pull him forward. He almost casts the silence, but not quite. He does have BKB ready to go, but he's also got Aegis. Snowball hiding. Oh, and a lot of damage being snapped by Razor. The Snowball actually really hurting them. Minus 224 for G. Here's the big ulti coming through, but G doesn't care. He's going to fight enemies. He's still negative damage. He actually goes down immediately, but when he responds full damage, Resolution in trouble. But great from the Dazzle. Rupture as well on Queen of Pain. It's almost gone. Can VP win this fight? It's not looking amazing for them, but Sound gets stunned. Down to 50. G wants to 3-shot the supports, but a great ensnare keeping in position, and Empire's winning it finally. But the Echo Slam turning things around. G goes down 2 for 2 at the moment. How are they going to end this out? Right clicks on Aloha Dance. He's got a stun in 1 second. Throws it. Misses it. Phobos is going to fall, I think. Fisher cleans him up, and now Yoki down to 400 HP. Couple right clicks, but Glimmer Cape, they blink out. Resolution has almost nothing left. He might die to Illidan here, and they are going to disengage 2 for 2. What an insane fight. That was also an Aegis, though.
That was an Aegis, but Earthshaker completely turning the tide. So that looked like such a great fight for Empire. They finished off the Aegis. They had control. So much damage on the Razor, but in the end, that Echo Slam completely turned it around. And even though Empire still get a good net worth gain out of it, it could have been a lot worse for VP.
My voice. Oh, man.
That was insane.
So, FNG, he really does play the 5 support in this team. That seems pretty clear.
Yeah.
4 Arcane Auras, tons of wards. He's like, I'm cool with the 1, guys. And right before he dies, he presses Freezing Field and hoping... He actually didn't die that fight, I don't believe.
Nope.
That's actually amazing. How can you position that well against a Quap and a Storm and a Razor?
With nothing but Tranquils.
Yeah, so many things that can kill you. The damage sap with the song was actually really good from Empire, though. If they didn't have an Aegis, there was no way VP was going to win that fight, because they completely neutered the damage of Bloodseeker there.
Yeah.
He really needs to be able to right-click a little bit to do damage. They have other damage sources, but he's a large component of that DPS.
Especially given that he just has such a huge amount of the farm on this Dire team. And, maybe Razor is the hero that is kind of the answer to the Tusk that we're seeing picked up so commonly. Static Link, if you're able to get off the Static Link when he's forced to snowball, it's just free damage, as we saw there. And it's often less about sapping damage from them, but just making Silent an absolute monster. I mean, he was right-clicking like a madman in that fight.
Yeah, and with the Midas, it helps a lot. He buys the BKB recipe. He's still... Oh, he's almost there. He's about 600 gold away. And once he finishes that, doesn't have to worry about Earthshaker, doesn't have to worry about Tuskar very much, and doesn't have to worry about Lina, the important one. Is Lina Vags yet? No. We went the Bloodstone build, so no Magic Immunity Piercing Ultimate.
Okay. Any other notable items picked up here? We saw that Glimmer Cape put to good use in the last fight. The one item that Naga has, pardon me, Aloha Dance also picking up the Gem of True Sight. Pretty standard timing here. Usually between that 20-25 minute mark is when you want to start looking for some map control through all those Naga illusions. VP, though, they're smoked up as 5. And they'll rotate through the mid lane.
He breaks on the Storm Spirit.
Oh, that's unfortunate. FNG loses his as well. And Empire will just back up here.
Yep, smoke is down. They might get spotted still. They go to jungle. No, looks like Empire doesn't want to take a fight quite yet.
Both sides will just disengage.
I
think they really want this BKB before they fight.
So important on Silent here.
And just about 100 gold away, so they can do it pretty soon. Still a while before Roche comes up. Haven't even got through the 8-minute timer yet. As VP start to station around the pit. Also, Lil now has a Force Staff, so just going more and more mobility tools. I feel like as this game goes on, Lil is going to become more of a threat to Team Empire. He's already had a huge impact, and it's just going to get worse from here, from the Empire perspective.
Yeah. He could also even start using Force aggressively on Rupture targets. It does a lot at this point. 360 pure.
Yeah. Especially if it's on someone like the Dazzle. That is a crippling amount of
damage. Going on Silent.
Initiated on here. They get the blood right as he's locked in the tree. Song of the Siren will come through. Stealing a lot of damage from Phobos. Resolution trying to set up. Empire trying to rinse Rebuke alive, but they mess it up with the Sonic Wave from Yoku. They don't time it quite right.
Great dunk on 2!
Again from Lil, making the plays happen. Laguna Blade, not enough. Resolution still alive. Compliment to the grave, but it's VP that are in trouble. Empire, despite the whiffed ultimate, are still cleaning this up. 3-0. It's just G and Illidan on the run, but the ensnare connects on G. Do they have the damage to lock him down or finish him off while he's locked down? They do not. One more auto attack, not enough. Oh no, now Illidan, he gets left behind, and this Lina definitely dead meat. Electric Vortex as well as the ensnare. Secure the kill, he does commit suicide, but still in the grave nonetheless. Great fight for Empire, but just imagine how that would have gone if that Sonic Wave connected.
I think it caught the Crystal Maiden, but that was about it. It didn't do a huge amount of damage there. Maybe it did catch I'm not 100%.
It didn't look like it.
It seemed like very, very low damage compared to normal, so...
I think the song was still... I don't know how it hit the... It definitely hit the CM, but it seemed like it didn't didn't hit the others because they were still asleep.
They might have just been really high HP. She only has 834, so it's very clear that it did a lot to her. But
maybe that's true. It really looks like they mistimed it now.
It's a really good setup from Empire, though. They're using the Naga a very different way than VP uses it, but it's being very effective. It's basically like, oh, we're going to abuse static link, guarantee we have 225 damage at the start of the fight, and taking one of your heroes out entirely in terms of their damage. So that was pretty cool. It got a lot of value for them.
Yeah, and even with that amazing counter initiation again from the Earthshaker, Empire still were tanky enough to triumph through.
Silent might die bottom here.
Yeah, this is a big rotation. This is actually the entire team jumping on him. Though BKB gets ruptured, does not have a TP.
This is really bad. But he's like, all right, I'm just going to start poking.
Okay, yep. Team rotating to the tier 2. He'll be all right for now, but VP, they're not going to retreat quite yet. Glimmer Cape onto Silent. He's going to pop out. They dust him. They really want this Razor. Now they doesn't have a BKB. They might be able to get him, but no. Shallow Grave is there. FNG going in very forward, but Song the Siren again. Interrupts it, keeps Silent alive. He'll mech. Now they'll set up onto VP. Sonic Wave not available. FNG getting low. Instead, they go in onto Aloha Dance, but again, Glimmer Cape, it's there. He'll survive until it's over. And they get the gem. Nicely played by Resolution. Oh, he doesn't get it.
Oh, great snowball dodge. They might be able to continue chasing. Are they going to get quaffed? No, he's in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, great dog got 2, dog got 3. So much damage, but a great on Resolution. That'll keep him alive again for a couple seconds. Yule's in the air. Need a stun, need some damage. Silent goes down. Storm is going to buy back or die. He died and actually instantly respawned.
16 Bloodstone charges. He's back instantly. But a triple kill for Illidan.
That's really good for VP. Things turned around so much. They look terrible for them, but
these fights are so chaotic. It looks like one team's about to win, then all of a sudden Lil jumps in with an Echo, and it's a completely different skirmish. That was a 1-for-4 in favor of Virtus Pro and a 3,500 net worth swing. Look at this gold graph. It has just been up and down, a roller coaster ride indeed.
He's waiting so long in the fights too. Like the fights are like 10, 15 seconds in, and he waits for the triple clump every time because it does so much more damage. A lot of players would say, oh, there's Storm Spirit opposition. I'm going to jump in, Echo solo, and then do the chain stun. But that's only going to lower one. And instead, he was able to blow up Queen of Pain and Storm Spirit and a supporter, whoever the heck it was. There was so much damage.
Yep. Illidan now with an invisibility rune. He is holding on to the gem, by the way. Looked like Resolution zipped in to try and get it, but he didn't have an inventory slot, so they do hand that over, unfortunately, for Empire.
Still a bit underfarmed on the Storm as well. Doesn't yet have his Orchid. It's only 31 minutes, and considering the start, he's in a good spot. But, you know, things just get harder and harder here. I assume Bloodseeker is going AC. Let me check the Courier. Nothing really yet. He's been really slowed down here, despite his... I guess his CS has really lacked a little bit. Yeah, his CS is not nearly as high as it was in the past.
Lil in the Roche pit as Empire smoke in. Oh, what a player. Wonderful positioning here. Breaks the smoke, and now Empire probably not looking to commit to the Roche pit.
High ground warded, but their positioning is respecting that. Plasma field. Oh, there's a Rupture.
Here we go. Rupture onto Silent. And against. Naga resets things, but this time they don't have the static link sucking damage.
Ooh,
they set this up though. Okay, only Lil takes the Sonic Wave damage. G, BKB on the run.
Oh, Fissure actually blocked him completely off. Can they grab the Storm Spirit? Are they going to get a grave? They should be able to grave this.
Yeah, they can. He's still alive. FNG with the freezing field, doing what damage he can. No one down, but Resolution out of the fight for now.
G's fairly fast just due to Resolution being low. Can they catch anybody else?
Blood right. Gonna turn the way that they go. Dazzle's gonna get left behind. He'll be the only one.
More Fissure. Oh, they block up below on Dance.
He's got nowhere to go. He's trying to TP, but they should have a way to interrupt it here. They do. Echo Slam's used. They get that kill. Now they'll chase down Silent. G getting more and more movement speed and damage. Beautiful ice shards for Phobos. He gets blocked out.
Oh,
breaks him down. Queen of Pain turns it around. Now G gets put inside of the snowball. Resolution. He'll hop back to safety, but Yoku, he's still nearby. They should be able to finish off G. They get him, but now Yoku's stunned up. Does Illidan have the damage? He has the Laguna in 5. Another Yules that might buy him enough time for the Laguna to come off cooldown. They hit him with the LSA straight away. Yoku down. It's just Resolution left alive. They won't commit for it, but another great fight for Virtus Pro.
And Illidan is balancing his cooldown so well there. He's almost got his Octarine core as well, so his stun uptime is going to be even higher here. And these fights are just so close. VP is running over Empire, and all of a sudden Quap comes in and blows everybody up, doing a huge amount of damage. 575 pure damage plus the Scream of Pain on top of that. Man, this game We knew that the VP versus Empire was going to be the best game of the tournament, but this is shaping up to be amazing.
Yeah, this is incredible. A stroke of luck that these teams ended up in the same group, so we can see them square off against each other. The Octarine core coming out on Illidan will be scary. That'll take his ultimate down to a very low cooldown and gives him that ability to sustain so much more in these team fights. He's also at 13 Bloodstone charges relative to the 12 of Storm Spirit. So both Bloodstone carriers having a pretty good time here through all of this fighting.
Yeah, Resolution's really recovered well, I think. Part of it is just that these Graves from Always Wanna Fly are constantly on point. The amount of saves, like if somebody gets low, I just know that Dazzle will be there for the Grave every single time. And a lot of the times he's graving a bit early, but it's completely worth it because you never really know if Aloha Dance is within range, on his sleep, if they need extra coverage there or not. So he's been playing a really good game on Dazzle.
Yeah, his positioning has been immaculate. On point with Lils, who's also had pretty immaculate positioning throughout this entire game. He'll now move into the Shadow Blade, so turning into kind of a core shaker at this point. We were talking about how much those enchant totems can do, and well, okay, not a Shadow Blade, the Glimmer Cape. Why did I think that was going to be a Shadow Blade perch?
On which hero?
Earthshaker. He gets the Glimmer Cape.
I
guess Shadow. He does pick up Shadow Blade on occasion, but Glimmer is much more,
very rare,
much more standard.
Definitely, especially versus heroes like
Either
Storm
way,
Spirit.
he gets another mobility tool. That's the core of what I'm trying to get out.
The stay alive, don't die Earthshaker build.
Yeah, definitely. BKB also on the Tusk, 10 seconds of magic immunity, ready to rock and roll in this next fight as Resolution starts to make progression towards his Ogre Club there. Same for Yoku, who is actually really close, just a couple hundred gold off that recipe.
Yeah, the BKBs that they have are actually really important on VP because every fight basically starts with the Song of the Siren into setups, and they try to pick off the supports, but Lil especially has been doing a good job of evading that with force staffs and things like that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, mid lane, they find Phobos. They'll get a free pick there, but I think VP will be all right to trade their Tusk if it means they can get an uncontested Roche. Empire could make the movement over, and they're starting to rotate. G will stay committed to the pit. Oh, this is kind of rocky. It's a 4v5, and they're in the Roche pit. Illidan doing big damage, trying to finish off Resolution, but he gets Grave. He'll survive. Roche falls, and it is G that picks up the
great dodge. Aloha Dance mirrored it.
Oh, okay. So, Song of the Siren, resetting things again. Silent does have his BKB on.
He wasted it, though.
Yeah, we'll have to run through the Rupture now. Aloha Dance stunned up. They want to try to finish him off. Shallow Grave again. This Dazzle is just in the right place at the right time. Sonic Wave connects on a few, but G does survive through it. They end up picking off the Naga Siren. Everyone else on Empire does make it away.
Man, it's so hard to get kills this game.
Dazzle.
G sold his Midas, by the way, to finish his AC. Thought it was important for that fight, so that may end up coming back to bite him for a while later, but he did barely survive that last fight, so I'm sure in some ways that armor helped him out.
Yeah.
So he's going to get some heals up on the Ancients. He'll be full HP, and maybe they can pressure a tier 2 tower since the Naga is dead and Song is gone. Yeah, well, they'll at least be able to pressure it, though there is a glyph for Empire. They'll use it right away, and they will prepare for what could turn into a high ground siege, depending on what VP want to do here with Naga in the grave. That tower will fall. AC finished on Razor as well, so that'll counteract slightly the Bloodseeker's one. As a whole, G's not looking nearly as far ahead as he was earlier in this game. He seemed like he was 2 items ahead of everybody. Now he's actually pretty much even. And especially with that Midas being sold, his overall GPM is definitely going to decrease compared to what it was before. Yeah, this gold graph, I just can't get over how back and forth this is. It's just one team fight after another going in opposite directions. VP riding the most recent high of momentum. We'll see what they can do with it as they continue to pick off tier 2 towers, now rotating to the bottom lane. A lot of time on the Aegis, about 3.5 minutes. So they don't need to force the issue, but G feeling very comfortable in the front lines. And they know there isn't a glyph here, which may entice them to look towards the high ground. Also, not to hold on cooldown for another 15 seconds, so they'll have a little window here to poke. They're playing completely different right now due to the Naga ulti being gone. They're like, oh yeah, we feel comfortable doing this. This is no problem. We can pressure. It's up in 6, though, and now they have to have good positioning. At all moments, they need to make sure they're spread apart. There's the Rupture again going on Silent. He doesn't waste his BKB this time, but Storm goes forward. G's taking some stuns. All right, here we go. G gets the Glimmer Cape. Resolution, he gets Glimmer Caped as well. Now they go in onto the Naga Siren. They want to focus the one that can reset Snowball, but there's no static link.
Not the best song of the siren. Okay, now the snowball is making it a little bit better.
Blown up.
Sonic Wave will rock the Aegis. They also get the kill on Tusk, but when G comes back up, can they make something happen? He'll use his BKB and snare, locks him in place. They're taking his damage from the static link. G in a lot of trouble. They should be able to bring him down here, and they do easily. On the outside, Storm just gets blown up. Now FNG with the freezing field doing quite a bit of damage. They'll start to bring him down, but a lot of damage now going the other way. Silent, the one that gets Shallow Grave. It doesn't get procced quite yet. Lil trying to finish him off, give him the totem. He can't quite do it. They'll lose FNG. Now Lil just trying to TP home. He won't make it. It's a 5-man wipe the other way. Empire with 5 all alive.
Man, that song was just perfectly timed. As soon as the snowball started, he songed. They all back off, and that forces the snowball to go through 4 seconds later, and then they're further out of position there. Excuse me. So Tusk actually hurting them more than helping them in that fight, in my opinion.
Yeah. At first, it seemed like a great reset, and then as it transpired a little more, it was like, you're in pretty deep here, G.
Yeah. The song just makes the fight so difficult. It's reminiscent of TI3, where Alliance went through and stomped everybody. It's because they were playing a lot of Naga Siren support, and for the similar reasons as you're seeing her being useful here. Reset the team fights, send the Riptides out to counter push and to do minus armor on everybody, and it just gives you so many positioning advantages over your opponent. There's no skill like it in Dota.
Well, look at this. Virtus Pro, 40 minutes in, feeling like they might be running low on carry power. Lina with the Maelstrom.
Huh. Okay.
Right-clicking Lina.
Interesting choice. Over a Desolator is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I guess the Mjolnir is potentially really good. I mean, there's BKBs on Empire, but not that many, I guess.
I mean, it's always good to have some extra AoE damage against the Naga, but it's not really like her illusions are really hurting all that much. And
yeah.
Is this Naga going for an Aghanims? Oh my.
It increases his farming speed by a lot. It must be, I assume. I don't think I've ever seen this built in a serious game at all.
Nor I. I'm like, oh,
it heals 6% of your team's HP.
It's like 40% or so if you get
over
off
7
on everyone.
seconds.
It's really, really good.
They're going in for the gank. They'll smoke from the left side. Lil's going to spot Aloha Dance. That's who they want to go in on. There goes Enchant Totem. Fissure, great sounds coming out of Resolution. He pops BKB. Summer Cape as well. And there is the sleep.
Okay.
This may be what VP wants. Oh, they're actually going to fight this.
They position accordingly. They'll go on to Silent. He's got the BKB. Silent Wave on the other side. Brings Lil down low. He falls before he can even get off his ultimate. Empire in pretty good shape so far.
And big ult!
Dance gets taken down by Illidan. Now on the other side, Silent gets the Shallow Grave, but it's about to expire. G trying to click him down. The Blood Right will finish him off. Now always want to fly locked in place. A 2 for 3, but Virtus Pro on the aggressive. Resolution as well as Yoku trying to make it out. Quap will channel the TP. Storm out of mana. Can they chase him down? He's the gem carrier. He's the one they want to live. G doesn't have the bonus movement speed he wants.
Oh, they got him with the Yules. That was weird looking. Oh, and there's the suicide. Gem on the ground. VP clean up that fight. They win it. I'm a little surprised considering how it started, but they put a lot of focus on the Earthshaker and the Tusk, and that was it. I think the issue was that the fight was slightly split, and the Naga Siren ran too much to the right, and the left side of VP was able to start activating and fighting the left side of Empire. So it was a bit of a mistake and small execution issues.
Now Empire in a little bit of trouble here. Naga is level 16, but didn't have it use that salt, so it's on cooldown for a minute.
Oh, another good use.
Resolution trying to finish off G. He'll TP home. Illidan, he may get left behind here. FNG's on the high ground and says, yeah, I'm out of here. And he might not make it out either. He's the gem carrier for the moment, and it'll go right back
that was so sick. He transferred it to the courier right before he died. They still catch it, but what a freaking play. That was so cool. I was like, why is the courier? And then you're like, oh, he's a gem carrier, but he didn't have it. He had already ninja'd it out, dude.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
A noble effort. Doesn't work out in the end, but a really good try there. So they get the tier 3 tower, but Barracks stay standing for Empire. By the way, the Earthshaker did go back for the Shadow Blade, so there you go.
It's a good idea. He can use it to initiate. He won't have to necessarily blink to initiate. He can Shadow Blade to Echo Slam, enchant Fissure, and then blink back to safety. Because right now he has to rely on his Force Staff to get out, and a lot of times Empire is just focusing him and blowing him up. Because they've gotten dunked on way too many times this game, and they have to worry about it.
Yeah, not an obvious Silver Edge game, though. He may just upgrade it to improve the slot, but I guess it gets rid of unstable current, but that's not really...
I think he's better off increasing his HP or getting a BKB. So maybe Silver Edge is an option, but it's not really a super good counter against anything. Like, you could reduce damage output of Quap or something, but every fight starts with Song into Quap ult, and you can't hit him in time, so I don't think that's the solution. Maybe Hex, even Octarine, BKB.
Yeah.
Lotus Orb, I don't know, something like that.
Well, this game could not be much more even, Purge. We're nearly 45 minutes in. The gold graph is zeroed out, 32 to 33. This is a completely even game. Still anyone's for the taking.
Yep, Illidan backing up for an armor item, another defensive thing. He definitely, I mean, he had a godlike streak there before he died. He's been playing fantastic, really holding the team together here. But probably Shiva's will be his pickup because they already have an AC. So yeah. Shiva's actually will be quite nice because the attack speed of the Radi team is a bit weak, especially with Storm here backing up and going for a BKB. So their damage output is about to reduce by a bit, I think.
Yeah. Now Empire will rotate through the mid. Yoku almost has enough for the Scythe of Ice. Long range zip, jumps onto Illidan. Orchid's there. BKB used by Resolution as the Yules is popped from Illidan. He'll scoot down to the low ground, but not enough to stay alive. Now Lil could find himself in a world of hurt as well. Remember, they've got a gem on Empire. Silent does take a rupture. Lil will try to tank it, uses the Echo Slam before he goes down. Now Song of the Siren to help reset. I think Lil is definitely in some trouble here. All of VP for that matter. Yoku on the high ground does not have himself a Sonic Wave, but still doing a lot of damage. G with the BKB on just can't take the heat, so he'll get out of the kitchen and head right back to the well. It's a 4-0 Empire coming out big once again, hoping for a lucky Roche respawn, but not today.
Ensnare is so good versus Bloodseeker, man. Forces him to just stand there for 5 seconds, wastes his BKB, makes the hero useless, completely counters exactly what the hero's supposed to do, and that's run around and do whatever he wants. Like, the Dazzle and the Naga combo are just so useful against him.
Yep. And now with that, Empire will look to take some objectives. 2 tier 2 towers still standing. They'll pressure the one in the mid lane. Resolution looking for a potential pick off there, but won't find one. So tower falls, they'll rotate down bottom. They've got some creeps right near the tower anyhow. Yoku already pushing. Scythe of Ice just about to come out here for the Quap. It's another big item pickup.
I think Lina lifesteals from the Maelstrom box with
oh!
I think that might be why he's grabbing it.
I guess the Chain Lightning does count as a spell, even though you're not actually casting it.
I would think it does, but I'm not 100%.
It's an interesting thought, though.
So Hex is up on Quap now, another good solution for using immediately out of the Song of the Siren.
And also Scotty up on the Razor. Just completed.
Yeah, it's looking really good for Empire now. I feel like their cores are scaling better in terms of items. Bloodseeker definitely has peaked off due to the Midas loss, and basically his farm is just really not gone anywhere.
He's also just not a great late game carry relative to other traditional carry heroes. His power curve is much earlier on.
He has to keep his farm up over his opponents, and that's very hard to do against the highest level players.
Especially for 50 minutes. I mean, he was number 1 in the net worth chart for maybe up to the 30-minute mark, 35-minute mark, but after that, once he got the AC is when the tide started.
Ooh, do they have a gem? I don't think they do. They're being spotted up by an Observer Ward, and Empire's trying to set up on them.
The gem is on Storm.
Yeah, he's got an Invis as well. Might be able to find Illidan. Will he go on him? Nothing yet.
FNG on the other side, they'll find him in bed. Resolution jumps right on him. Ghost Scepter's there, but all that pure damage goes right through it. FNG, the first casualty.
Oh, they get G as well.
Now they go on to G. He's hexed up. He's in a lot of trouble. He has his BKB. He'll use it just to escape. They want to continue to pursue here. They find Illidan, and on the other side of it, it looks like DK Phobos could get left behind. The Ensnare connects, and he might be BKB'd, but the right clicks will be enough to bring him down. Walrus Punch for good measure, but a quick 2-0 as Empire get more momentum. Roche also standing. This is Roche 3 with Cheese, and they should be able to take it without too much issue.
And what a tough VP game here. Like, they had that early game advantage, but the Naga Siren Sleep just kept them in it for so long. And like every game got to start off with Empire initiating perfectly with a Quap ulti on 3 heroes. They could focus on whatever support they wanted to, and now they don't even need the skill anymore. They're just plain winning.
So Aegis goes to the Queen of Pain, and the Cheese will go to the Razor, who ends up dropping his Hand of Midas as well. So we're at that stage of the game where Midas is no longer making the cut for inventory slots. Shiva's on the Storm. He's now up to 18 Bloodstone charges relative to the 6 of the Lina.
Not looking good. I mean, Bloodstones at this point aren't that big of a deal, but the respawn is, that's for sure. So Lina would love to be able to die and instantly respawn, but it's just not going to be the case.
So, man, if only we had a stats man in this game, Purge. I'd love to hear more about Aghanim Scepter and how infrequently it's been picked up on Naga Siren and
probably never.
Games like this.
I would
it's
guess
so rare, but it's the heal is actually incredible. It's an insane, like we talked about it as a reset tool, but this is truly a reset tool where you can heal somebody up for 40-ish% of their HP.
Yeah, how many of the fights would be Razor going down to 15%, getting graved, and the song coming out? Like, if you get him down to 14%, 15%, and then you buff him up to like 60, you don't even need to grave him anymore at that point. So And that could be for multiple heroes. The tankier they get, the more this is going to heal.
Yep, it's all percentage based. 6% per second.
That's good.
That is very good. All right, so Empire now, it's just a matter of trying to break the high ground. Easier said than done. Even though VP are starting to fall behind, they still have a pretty good team for holding the high ground, especially in that of the Earthshaker.
And they will be pressuring the bot lane. There still has been no racks taken, so VP will get the advantage of high ground defense. So they do have a better chance of getting off their dunks or whatnot.
But this is by far the biggest net worth experience lead we've seen this game. At this point, the numbers start to go out the window, but just more to draw a comparison to how even it was early on. There is a glare for the Dire side. The tier 3 tower will start to take some damage.
Rupture on silent again.
He's on the high ground. Remember, he is the one that shoots a huge dunk from Lil. Connects on 3. Clears out the creep wave, but they turn it around onto Lil. They still have the damage. Naga Siren dies before she can ult. Instant buyback from Lil as well to get into the fight, but it seems like they just don't have the resources. Now Illidan goes down. Lil forced to run back to the well already. Quap hops in. Finishes off Illidan. He'll be forced to buy back. This is a disaster for VP. The right idea to try to bring down the Naga before she can song, but this is such a costly hold. 3 deaths and 2 buybacks.
It's a great attempt to score those kills, but the Hex coming from Queen of Pain was so fast there. All he got off was his Chaos Dunk. Or his Echo Slam, sorry. Like nothing else. He didn't get a Fissure, he didn't get an Enchant Totem. He was just committed to that. And imagine if he went for a BKB instead of a Shadow Blade. Maybe that was the right item, because honestly, if he was Magic Immune there, I think he guarantees the Storm kill and the Quap kill there.
He's Shadow Bladed up, looking for some initiation perhaps, but it's G on the other side who's already been caught. Lil breaks his up with a Fissure, but it's not enough to save the Bloodseeker. He dies at the round of the Sonic Wave from the Queen of Pain, and now they're in a hot pursuit. Lil getting low, he's already bought back. It's a dieback for Lil. Now VP on their last leg as Empire trying to take it out from under him. Illidan way too far forward with Phobos. Ice Shards trying to lock people in place, but it's just not enough. G with his BKB on, he's relegated towards the well. FNG, he's Ghost Sceptered for now. That'll buy him a little bit of time. He doesn't have a freezing field. Silent will have his way with him over there, and now Illidan in the grave. It's a dieback for the Lina as well. A 5v2. This is the final fight for Virtus Pro.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, they got that early advantage, but they just couldn't win those team fights. They were too even for too long, and the itemization and the late game carry of Empire was far stronger with the Storm that had no relatively, and of course the Razor that ultimately will be a harder carry than Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker just slowed down way too much, and he had to sell his Midas, or at least he felt like he had to sell his Midas. Maybe a big mistake in the end, but Empire takes a very hard one, game 1.
Absolutely. Well, everything that we came to expect out of the Empire Virtus Pro matchup. Pardon me, a very aggressive early and mid game, a lot of kills back and forth, and incredible team fighting on both sides.